bustin' into Hollywood. Show him the ways, move into Hollywood. He's hopping into Hollywood. He's on his ways, going to Hollywood. He's bustin' into Hollywood. Show him the ways, move into Hollywood. He's hopping into Hollywood. He's waited at bus stops all his life. He's been in and
I went to Venice Beach, and I was just hanging out at Venice Beach and, you know, checking out the sights. And then I saw a crowd of people. I looked and saw that they were watching these people skate, and these people were doing some incredible things. I mean, things I had never really seen before, because they weren't doing this back in '78. You know, what I remember about roller skating was the rinks, you know, the wood floors and the lights and the music, and, you know, and that kind of set me back. And I said, you know what, why don't I pick up my camera and see what the world of roller skating is like today? And so, boom, I set off. And the first place I went to was Atlanta.
Something I do faithfully. Every Labor Day weekend, we come to Skate-a-thon here in Atlanta, Georgia. Originated by Joy and John, J&J Skate Productions. They started out in 1996. We're here, 2002? And it gets bigger and better and greater every year.
You ready? I know you wanna ride. Remember when I tried to give you a ride? Now I got a new car and you wanna ride.
I think that Joy has definitely extended her hand as a coordinator, talking to other people, trying to give events. It's not easy to find people committed to putting it out there, and she does. I think she does it with the style and the grace. She's a skater. You have to see her on the floor, she's a skater. She can skate. Now, John's a New Yorker, came out of New York. You gotta watch John's moves. You know, John is everywhere doing all things.
Just show us about your looks.
Well, you know what I mean? Now, I'll tell you about my looks. I can tell you about that. I was talking to this one lady. I asked her, did she think, you know, I look nice, you know, if I wanted to go out with her? And she told me to back the F up off of her. You know what I mean?
We automatically, I don't even know how or why, we just automatically became very good friends.
We're negotiating over here. You know what I mean? We're just going through some regular drama. You know what I mean? You know what it is? It's like a man, it's a man-woman thing, you know. Just let the man act like a man, but behind closed doors, she making all the decisions. Then when you go out in public, though, let him put his chest out. Let him put his chest out at least, you know what I mean? The 7th annual Skate-a-thon, though, was nice. People having a good time. They was out there at the pool, acting up. I don't know what I'm supposed to look at. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look real official.
And he asked me about giving a skating party, and I just told him yes.
Bustin' loose now. Bustin' loose in the evening. Bustin' loose can be pleasing. Bustin' loose in the meantime. Bustin' loose make you feel fine. Talking about bustin' loose, girl. to my love Jones, busting loose to each his own. Talking about busting loose, y'all. Busting loose to my love Jones, busting loose to each his own. Give me the beat, y'all.
He actually took me to New York just to go hear Big Bob play at Empire in New York. And I just loved the music.
When it comes to skaters, they got to feel the role. Give them a great floor, a great sound system, and that's all they ask. They don't care about the lighting and decor or how many vendors are selling on the side. They come to get their roll on. Skating in its total heyday was from the 70s to mid-80s. That's when skating was at its heyday. And the music was music, not all this my neck, my back. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about that, man.
Right, that does not promote skating to me.
And that doesn't promote the feel and spirituality what skating really was about. That's sexuality there, that's not skating. You know what I'm saying?
I've been skating over 20 years. When I was about 12 or so, my mom started taking us to Anacostia Park, my brother and I, and we shared a pair of skates.
Taught myself how to skate, second grade field trip.
Look at her.
I don't know what year that was, like 1987, something like that. I have been addicted to it ever since then.
My first skating rink, there was a white guy coming in the neighborhood with a tent, and he put up the skating rink on the lot.
A tent?
Mm-hmm. And so we had never rolled on wood. And you know, when you get to the end of the tent, there's a fence all around. We tore the fence down because we didn't know how to turn.
Y'all didn't know how to turn.
Look at that skate was so fast. Them the fastest skates we
Took me long enough to save up $23 to buy my skates. And I don't even remember they were new.
Well, I had steel wheels when I first started skating. You used to clamp on your shoes.
Well, in Park City, we had what you call wooden wheels. Yes, these are the ones that we skated on.
Mahaja, you know that move you and Anthony do all the time? When you go up on your toes and you look like you're going bow-legged?
The Matrix.
That's not the Matrix. That's the Grapevine.
That's the name y'all gave it.
That's the name y'all gave it. But that came out of Detroit. That move came out of Detroit. One thing y'all need to read is read Bill Butler's book. He took all the styles that he learned while he was in the service, and he brought it to New York and called it the jamming technique.
Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone.
If I were to tell you that I was at the end of this, it wouldn't be a truth. I'm still learning, you know, and I think when the learning stops, everything stops, you know. And I've lived long enough to see some really good stuff in roller skating and this technique, which the country has no clue.
by name is Bill Butler. And I really dig roller skating.
And mama, some bad talk going around town.
I haven't been off my skates a year in 60 years.
And that ain't right.
I can remember being on a trolley car for my little nickel, chug-mugging along to get to the Arcadia with my skates that was all beat up and raggedy. I didn't come from no sophisticated situation where I had the best bearings and I had the best wheels and I had the best skates. I come from poverty. I never had a pair of brand new skates till I won them in a crap game in the Air Force. Skating was tough in Detroit because in those days, they didn't let us skate. There was this place called the Arcadia in Detroit that the blacks had to picket to get to skate one night. After all the picketing and stuff went on, they let us in for one night. We were so consistent. The white people ended up with one night. We had the rest of the week.
The Arcadia was, centrally located. It wasn't exactly downtown, by being right near Mack Avenue, but it was an area where it was closer to the Jeffrey Projects and the Brewster Projects, The owner of the ring swore me down it'd never be black music played in his ring.
The sit-in movement became one of the Negro's most effective weapons.
It was really hard because of the fact that the guy was, the owner was a white guy. And for him to let us come in there, it would be bad on his image, for just taking our money. He limited the type of music, he didn't want it too loud, He throwing everything at us at, roadblocks, and that didn't do anything but just made us more eager to do it, So if he had just let it go and everything, we might have found another fad or something, But we were so determined, to get in there and turn this place out, and really, because this was the only thing we could do, Back then in the days, if you were not hanging in the streets, you was at the ring. Bill Butler, he was one of them that was coming in there and who paved the way, for all of us to really, get our style out there, You do your roller skating, and once you leave, everything else is wide open to you.
Wanting to come to New York since I could remember, and I finally end up in New York. So as soon as I arrive, I get in the Yellow Pages, I look up a roller skating ring and I find Empire on Empire Boulevard in Brooklyn. So when I got to Empire, all the skate guys were like white guys, I came in, I gave them this record. It was Count Basie, and I said, "Would you play this for me?" And of course they did. And Empire's been different since then.
Empire set the trend. You haven't skated nowhere until you skated Empire. That was how it was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And a little bit into the 90s. But the early part of the 70s and 80s, skaters came from all over the country just to see Empire. Bill Butler was the one back in the early 50s, man, like 57 to early 62, that started the roller disco movement. He didn't have a disco in mind. He just bought a jazz night, an R&B night in 57, and then it transitioned over into 62, where it grew to a big thing. Then roller disco was born. Great skaters came out of Empire, A lot of it's still in the history book. Anthony Ford, Maurice Gatewood, Dr. Love, some of the pioneers. Then you got Charles Edwards out of Jersey, who had a group called the Soul Travelers. And there's a group of 20 people that got together, and that's what they did. They just traveled from rink to rink, doing what we call stepping. Today, you got all old, young, everybody's stepping, everybody's coming up with their own routines, you know, from these pioneers.
All I know is I've been in the rink 45 years and I've seen people come and go for different reasons. You know, I've seen the rink change to what it is now.
You see, the Empire is more than just a rink. It's a spirit that moves. And if you ever been in the heyday, you would understand what I'm talking about. It was a spirit. And when you came through those doors, you knew you was part of something special.
Now let's look at a real sports ante, a game in which everything goes to pieces. The idea here is simple enough. It's a roller derby, and they start out to race each other on roller skates around the track. But someplace along the way, reason, roller skates, and racing are forgotten. It's simply a question of who tripped who.
White folks skate different. His plate be too large for their foot.
No, flat feet. White folks skate flat-feeted. We do not skate flat-feet. White folks skate flat. That's why they prosper this way when they skate. We got rhythm.
I started skating when I was about 9 years old. From Chicago in 1938. I stood on the sideline one night, look at them skate. Next night I got out there and skate just like that.
He's going to fly, don't play him cheap. He's no, he's not shy. He's mashed potato, the alligator. Jump back and jack, see you later.
I am Frederick Basu. I started in 1943 at Savoy on 47th Street.
Skate rink wasn't no more big in there. Looked like they packed just like this.
They had wooden wheels though.
Just like sardines in a can.
Played all the kind of music y'all playing now. We played St. Louis Blues.
Played better. Music was better.
Irene Goodnight.
If I know you,
Chuck Berry's,
I could bring
Chuck Berry's number.
tape.
Started. My grandparents, my great-grandparents. When you start talking about freestyle, figure skating, black people figure skated. It was waltz dance. They put waltz music on, they put organ music on, and black people did it fabulously.
We had the rink. Alexandria was managed by some good people, and this rink was much, much older, built in 1933, much older than most. But this rink was maintained, had a family atmosphere, and the good thing about it was he took all the kids in the neighborhood that lived pretty close by, and they would come and help out in the rink, free admission. You see, you don't have to do big things. They just wanted to help out. They would sweep the floor or whatever, and he said, okay, you can skate free tonight or tomorrow night or whatever. Kids were happy. They actually passed laws in the city of Alexandria to shut that place down. From the moment it opened up, they tried to shut it down. We used to go outside with sound meters because the neighborhood, there was a high-rise behind us that it was too loud. So we insulated that whole building because it was not too loud. I'm standing outside at the height of the session going like this. I said, okay, this is within allowable parameters. but we would have 10 complaints the next day.
But baby, I'm for real. I'm as real can get.
He's grabbing my hand off my equipment. I can't tolerate that.
Understood, but he's trying to talk to you and try to get. We're getting a complaint of noise.
It's Martin Luther King weekend and they just want to start trouble. This is a park. This is a skating ring. They have parties all the time. I grew up in Newark and never a situation where somebody says it's too high. Apartment buildings across the street. Okay? So how could somebody call and say that they hear the music? So I think, like he said, it's attitude. And that's all it's based on. There's something else going on.
Okay, let's not get out of control.
It was systematic from day one. It was just, oh no. When they closed that rink down, crime rate went up.
There was a swell of community concern from all over this area. They closed it anyway. Ohio, they're getting ready to close the rink down. It's been there over 30 years. It's on city property. They're going to tear it down to build a police station, which of course I think is really good because once you tear the skate rink down, the children will need someplace to go. If you don't give them anything to do, it will be to the police station. So you take it out, then you take out that vital piece of the community. And we're talking across this country about not having anything for our young people to do. We're so concerned about the next generation. Okay, well, where's the concern?
It's what you get, my baby. It's what you get. And me, is the best thing yet. The best thing yet.
My father, and it was like, well, it's too violent and this, that, or the third. My older brother and my cousins, they always used to go and they used to tell me, oh, it's great, it's fun, this, that, and the third. So I always wanted to go. When I went to adult night Tuesday nights 2.5 years ago, that's when I became better. So I watching them, getting the old styles, the old techniques.
Do it on a good foot, that is. Yeah. Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Look at here, y'all. Don't put down a man with a better hand. Oh, let's try to do very best you can. You wear your hair long, baby. I wear my hair short. Come on, baby. Talk that talk.
Skating, like other sports, you just develop your own little style. If you don't take something from somebody else, then it's kind of impossible to say you're a skater. Yeah, there's a skate guard right here. He doesn't hardly know how to skate, but he's still a guard.
Stop playing, stop playing.
I give him some credit. Come on, yeah.
That was a Godfather theme. I just learned that.
That is
It's
Milton.
easy.
We used to go to high school together. Milton, the Music Man.
Yeah.
Also a skate guard, one of the best down with the group. That's Q, one of the DJs I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Let's go meet Q. This is DJ Q right here, the DJ I was telling y'all.
How you doing?
Out of the two DJs that if they're not playing, him and Bob, then I ain't skating, you could say. If they ain't playing, I ain't skating.
You know the assistant do all the work. And Big Bob leave me back here at Empire while he tour the country. But my day is coming.
Without this, where would people go? I mean, movies. It ain't nowhere like this place. For $7, $6, whatever the price is, joy is here. People would try to run this place, but they can't have this place because this is the community's place. I don't care if you're a thug outside in the world, but in here you can't be a thug because this is a house of joy. It's a feeling here when you come in that door. That music and the DJ, I couldn't tell you too much about that unless if you come in here and try it. You gotta try it.
Back in the days, this was the #1 place to come, okay? They are skaters, and they are skaters. You guys gotta recognize. Come get your skate on. What? Never mind going to the gym. Come get your skate on. I'm glad my glasses are off so you can see the realness in my face, because the eyes are the mirrors to the soul. And one thing I do know, skating will always be alive. Peace!
Good night, y'all.
Peace.
The image of roller skating is preventing much from happening. Rollerblading sort of hit the scene. Parents couldn't even find roller skates. As a community, we go to the store looking for roller skates for our children because that's what we got at Christmas time. You couldn't find them for the last 8 years.
Only rollerblades.
You couldn't find them. And if you found anything on skating, it was about rollerblading. Rollerblading was the family-friendly, educated sport of people with money. They said that roller skating is urban, that is unruly. If you have an expectation of young people, they will meet it. If you don't, they won't. And that's regardless of the color of the child. The rinks where we skate most of the time, they do not put money back in, they don't maintain them. And there have been times in the past where their owner has pretty much right out called us niggas. They eventually told us to go. They would have called the police. You niggas need to go to your own rink. I do think that as much as his money is also black. You know, it's also, they have a plan for what they want their community to look like, and it doesn't include us. Again, if you talk to people who are building communities, they will put in an ice skating rink, but they won't put in a roller skating rink because they know black people skate, and they don't want us there.
If you're walking around thinking that the world is something cause you're here.
I think there was an attack on our culture and our community. This is what we do. This is what we've been doing. Not just in D.C., but all across the country.
When they come on so-called our nights, we don't run them out of there. They're always welcome to skate with us.
Put your hand over your mouth when you cough. That'll help.
I don't want this slant on there because they created that scenario. This is your night, and this is the only time you come. We didn't create this. We had to come up under that, but we didn't create that. We didn't alienate them. We were being alienated.
When you take my money, I think there's some things I should expect in return. The bathroom should be clean and well repaired. The floor should be clean, da-da-da. And I even think maybe you should take the time to find out what kind of music I like. But you know what?
You had that
Let's not even put it out there. Y'all don't have to get it. Don't get it. Don't let us in. It's not a problem because, again, it is our responsibility, and I think we need to take it seriously.
A good evening. Do not attempt to adjust your radio. There is nothing wrong. We have taken control as to bring you this special show. We will return it to you as soon as you are grooving. Welcome to station WEFUNK, better known as...
This was called That's a Rap. It was a sitcom pilot. I had to throw the mail and say these lines to Lady Di. But if I hadn't been able to skate, I never would have got this part. I haven't skated in a while, you know, but I could grapevine and skate backwards.
Top of the chocolate Milky Way, 500,000 kilowatts of P-Funk power.
It was just one of the spots that I tried out for. It was a successful audition for me. And it was because, once again, and I reiterate, it was because of the roller skate. My name is Big Ike Reed of Detroit. And what's your name?
Tyrone.
Tyrone
Dixon.
Tyrone Dixon. Tyrone, my name is Big Ike, but you can call me Big.
All right.
For short.
All right.
Okay, I wrote that myself.
We do want to thank you for joining the Detroit Connection now for their roller skating weekend.
Many lovers has come and many lovers have gone.
In 1993, three of us Detroit skaters had gone down to Chicago, who was the original host of these roller skating parties. The young lady by the name of Vanessa Poindexter, out of Chicago, had an idea to bring all the skaters together. And at that time, it was really for the Midwest skaters. And that included Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, and Indiana. And so she brought these four cities in the Midwest together and gave a skating party. The three of us, myself, Vanessa Jones, and Pat Bird, had traveled to this party, enjoyed it so much because there was all these skaters from the Midwest. We said, well, you know what? We can take that same concept back to Detroit, and let's see if we can do it.
'95 was when I had my first event, and I would say the average age was 40. There were people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, some in their 60s. And now that the younger people in their 20s have started attending these events, they just know how much fun they have, and they have all of the physical capabilities and everything to just get out there and just exhaust themselves with roller skating.
Skating is an art to me. Everybody can't get out there and skate like we skate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been skating for 15 years, and it took me 15 years to get where I'm at, and I'm trying to get better. And I know a lot of people that's way better than me now. So, you know, it's not easy to do what we do. Not everybody can get out there and do what we do.
Practice. 1 million falls. You can. 1 million falls. I practiced my millionth fall.
Red, what's your favorite old school jam?
What's that rap? My favorite old school jam.
Skate jam.
What are they doing over here?
would probably be Trans Europe Express.
Mine's too.
I had to go with that.
Trans Europe Express.
Because they got so many different beats to it, and you could just roll to it.
Yeah, there it is.
I want to skate so bad.
See, I feel that beat to that? You can do nothing but jam on that, you know what I'm saying? That's an automatic jam beat. You already just got your groove going. You just skate slow, fast, medium. You can do a dance step to it. Either which way you want to go, you can hit it. Great break. It's a great break.
Black roller skating in particular is so strong in Detroit. In the metropolitan area, it is so strong. Detroit, Flint, Pontiac, we people love to skate.
In the late 60s, it just broke wide open, you know, especially when Motown was going on tour and everything, you know. Because all the songs, all the artists, Temptations, Diana Ross, Supreme, Smokey Robinson, and all their records were starting to affect us, you know. We would take Stevie Wonder around the floor. He couldn't see, but he loved to skate. Only worst part back then, we didn't have video. You know, we didn't have videotapes to really capture what was really going on back then.
I like to say the theme song for Detroit is Function at the Junction.
Nobody like you.
There's three major styles in Chicago. It's three majors. One being the figure skating type style. The other one is what we see on some of the national circuits, where it seems as though the goal is to do about 100 miles an hour. And then the third big style of the city is the JB style, which is what I represent. That's why when people say, are you representing Chicago? No, I don't represent Chicago. I represent Chicago, but only in the form of the JB style.
Caramel with toffees, chocolate covered strawberries, love so sweet.
It's kind of that old versus new, where, you know, sometimes as we get older, we don't really want to deal with the younger crowd.
Skating is Southern guy, cruising though, cruising. But act a fool is a different thing, you know. Most of them go to act to see how big fools they can make. They don't go to roller skate.
JB is looked at primarily nowadays as being a young crowd, but it's not. A lot of people who actually skate these older sets, the 27 and older, 30 and over, 35 and older, are JB skaters.
We don't skate like they do. So the young generation is different skaters. They wants to run on skates. They wants to run fast on skates. but they have no timing. If they're running fast on skates, if I want to make a quick break, they can't make it because they're going too fast. They have no control over skating.
As an adult, your job is to be a role model for the younger generation. And you have to be that. You don't talk bad about the younger skate generation. You're setting the path for them.
Well, that JB style, that's mostly fast skaters. You know, they like to do the crazy leg. The crazy leg came out in 1941. Crazy leg did. Came out in 41.
Oh, that big wheel.
Yeah, crazy leg. All that kind of stuff came back in 40. But now what they call stuff crazy leg, that's not the crazy leg.
Everything I'm doing now is trying to open the door, take this somewhere else, make it bigger than just the neighborhood we live in. You know, other people want to see it, they want to embrace it, and that's what it's about. It's an art form, it needs to be shared. There's no point in doing something if it only stays in your house. You know, that's cool, you get to see it, but it might be so much better if other people can see it and embrace it and share the same love for it. We up here at Glenwood Roller Rink. We're about to hit the JB set. You won't see this anywhere else you go, nowhere. And that's not bragging, that's just being realistic. This is something that's really here. If it can expand out to other cities, that's beautiful. But for now, it's right here. Glenwood, the rinks in Chicago that the JB skaters skate at, this is it. So let's go on up in here and see how this go down.
Put it down. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Get up off of that thing and dance to you better. Get up off of that thing and dance to you. Sing it now. Get up off of that thing and dance to you better. Get up off of that thing. Try to release that pressure. Get up, up. Ha. Good job. So good. Everybody ready? Follow me. So funky. I need it. That's a wild brother. That's a wild sound good. Sound good. Good job. Good job. Hit it, Jimmy. Good job. Yeah. Yeah. Hit it, Jimmy. Do it. Ha. Yeah. Yeah. Hit it, Jimmy. Do it.
Now y'all see how Glenwood get down. This is how we bring it every week. This is Chi-Town JB at its best. See, I'm sweating. We don't care. I don't worry about what this look like. I'm skating. That's all it is, the love of it.
Most of these people who were promoting parties years ago were taking their flyers and passing them out and traveling to different cities. But with the emergence of the internet, that just took it to a whole new plateau. The information got out faster.
it was more accurate, it could be updated. And so with that, we spread it among the masses, and that just perpetuated these parties to what they're coming to today.
It's good to see you again. Here we are, formerly Trade Winds, now known as Capes. We're here for North Carolina skate party. This is the one. This will be the party of the year, simply because of the spirit, the energy, the anticipation. And guess what? It's already in the air. We ain't even inside yet. If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
Shout out Tilly for really. Got my whole team here. Whole squad, baby. Rolling in the Carolinas.
Dayton, Ohio. Hey, you got the J.
Back then, it was a little slow. I mean, because, you know, we just got it started, and we were probably getting maybe 3,000 to 4,000 hits a month. And now we're averaging about 500,000 hits a month. We do not go and get information. The skaters send this to us. They volunteer to send us information because from the beginning, we've always told everyone, this site is not about Desi, it's not about Nikki, it's not about Connie. It's about you and what you need. It's about the skaters.
Well, all right.
That people really didn't even know these things went on. But now you have that outlet to, especially skategroove.com. You know, you can let them know. They post your flyer, your advertisement. People can click on from anywhere around the world and see that, okay, Saturday, November the 2nd, Huntsville, Alabama, Bama Jamma's putting on a party. You know, that we have that outlet to trillions of people.
We're going to get it right down. This Sunday night, we got to sweat a little bit.
I'm the funkiest white guy you'll ever meet. I'm here to tell you. I can get on the floor and turn heads. And, you know, fortunately, thanks to the Lord, I still can today at 42. I can still get down and get funky.
You wanna have fun?
If it got the exposure, then people will really see what roller skating is about.
Imagine Anthony leaving, it's all mine. It's all like this when we walking out the door, like this.
First time I came, I saw Michael. Mike is like just, I don't know. It's just like I saw it, like I just couldn't understand what he was doing. You know, this was something I never saw before, and it just looked so awesome. I was so inspired. The X Games is like more of an extreme, you know, ramps and jumps and like stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't say what I do is to that extreme. think this is more artistic, you know, in the form of like maybe Olympic games. You know, that's how I see it. It's hard. It takes skill, you know, some of these things that are done, it takes control and, you know, discipline. People are they're missing out on this, you know, but somebody's gonna see it, and then another person's gonna see it, and more people are gonna see it, and it's just gonna come to life.
What's happening around the country is there are no, or I shouldn't say no, but not to my knowledge, any black-owned roller skating rinks. Knowing that, it changed the entire relationship between rink owners and Detroit Connection now. We have decided as a group collectively to put our resources together, whether it's financially, socially, and try and get enough people involved to eventually build or buy our own rink back. Because we know as a black community and as a black organization, if we do that, we can continue to perpetuate black roller skating years to come.
It's what we originally drawn up. We erased some things, put some things in. This is almost 4 years old, and as you can see, the writing is still on here. This is a drawing of what we want the rink to look like. This is what that drawing has manifested into. Detroit Connections Roller Dome. It will be the largest skating rink in the country, no doubt. It's a lot of design, it's a lot of hours and time been put into designing this rink. This is the most complete skating rink in history. No one has a rink of this caliber or capabilities. We have taken every possible accommodation into consideration, and it's the first one that's actually been designed by African American roller skating.
Even black ownership might not do it, but like, I think somebody that loves roller skating, if they got their hands on it, it would be different and it would be more cared towards the skaters. Roller skaters, they are, you know, faithful and coming, because when you come here on Tuesday night, every Tuesday night, you're gonna see the same people.
We skate for the love of skating, but there's also that appeal that you get from the ladies.
Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Beautiful lady. Who's that lady? Lovely lady. Who's that lady? Real
ice skate may say it might make you fall. So you gonna make me fall, I'm gonna get out of your way. I'm gonna step out of the way.
What fun
They skate with him. They skate with him, and then he come and get him, and then skate with me.
Well, that's because he's a lover. Yeah. Freddie's a lover. The bald eagle.
Yeah. He gets all the good.
Yeah.
I can't get nothing.
I love to skate. It is my life. When I die, they're going to bury me in my skates.
This is fun. And exercise is not fun, okay? Now, how do I know that? It's because I work out, all right? Here is an ab wheel. And everybody knows what an ab wheel is. Gloves, and you get down and you roll this wheel. It's not fun. And if you go to a gym, all you have to do is go to a gym and look at the people working out. You don't see any smiles. Nobody is smiling. But if you go to a roller rink and you look at the people there, everybody's having a ball. What's the difference? It's the fun. It's the fun.
It's got all the things that young people want. It's got music, it's got movement, it's got everything, you know? Basically, the whole family can do it. And our Family Skate Association wants to, you know, constantly remind the community that that's the case.
These are your standard quad skates. I set about to obsolete this guy, because its time has passed.
Yeah, my dad taught me most of the stuff that I know. He always told me, go back over it again, it ain't right. I don't like how you did that. It's not right. That free turn ain't right. Go back over it again. He said, if I hear your wheels squeaking, then I know you're not riding your edges. That's what he said. So every time he hear my wheels squeak, he would have me go back over it again. And sometimes we practice by 8 hours practice. He didn't want me to make him look ashamed.
They're cantilevered out here. But once you have this type of arrangement, you naturally think of this.
You've been skating how long, Joe?
About 71 years. I started when I was 9 years old.
I've been skating 56.
Now,
Non-stop. In jail. Only time I stopped when I was in jail for 7 months.
Non-stop.
Skating is more than just having a good time. Skating is competitive. There is figures, there is freestyle, there is speed skating, there is the hockey. And our children can do that if they're given the opportunity, which is one of the things we want to make sure they have.
Before I started becoming involved and active in these type of activities, there are some people that come to these skating parties, I probably wouldn't have spoken to them on the street. And it's a shame to say, but it's true. But now, I've changed the way that I think, you know, and that's a plus for a black person to change the way he or she thinks about another black person. That's progress.
From Atlanta to Memphis, Jacksonville, Florida, up to Milwaukee, Detroit, San Diego, Skate This is out there, and they skate on the boardwalk out there, and that is absolutely awesome. That is awesome to be skating right there next to Mission Bay or the world-famous Venice Beach in L.A. That is the epitome of, if you're a true skater and you hadn't skated in L.A., then you have not You haven't hit that climax yet. Out here, we get thousands of spectators come watch us every weekend, and they can sit back and watch their lunch and watch us perform for free. They get to see something they don't get to see in the norm, because you watching TV, you don't see this. You can turn on any channel, any cable. If you see any kind of skating, it'll be different from what we do here.
I think that there are a lot of people who if they really, really gave it a try, who really just fell into the emotion, the feeling, give that a chance. Give what it feels like to go around that ring. Let somebody pass by you really fast and you feel that breeze. Woo!
Some person that say, look, I got these 8 wheels up under me, and I put on me some soul brother music, and next thing you know, hey, spectacular things started happening. You know what I'm saying?
I've picked this child's sport, and I'm having a ball. I love it. No big deal.
Rhythm has a force of its own. It moves things around. And you've been able, that's why you see 300 and 400 people and everybody's going where they want to go. Because they're telecommunicating to each other so fast. It's sort of a harmonious thing, like a hive of bees. Seem to be flying all around, but they're not touching each other. That's the same kind of feeling you have at the ring. Energy is like off the... If you want to power the city of Atlanta tonight, just plug into this ring tonight, you have enough juice for 3 or 4 weeks. I'm telling you, it's like that.
So what we used to do, you understand, we'd have a skating contest. Whoever skate the best get the woman. And you know me, you understand, I came out with the women because I could skate the best. I just do the bird, you know, come down flying through the corner. I mean, let me show you what I'm talking about, you understand? Now you come in, you hop, you understand? Then you get that skip, you don't know about that. If you want to talk to anybody about skating, come to Detroit and get your hair did. And don't forget to stop by down there and get you some of those shrimps, okay? All right?
Taste of your body, and you just have to go with it. Right. And it's like, you out there, and I mean, I'm serious. Take my word. Sometimes you can actually have an orgasm.
Oh, I don't know about that. I have to be the real thing.
No, you know, I don't know about him, but me, all right, yeah.
I'm not that climactic when I'm out there.
Do you mind me asking, how old are you? 76. I definitely got to see you get married. I can't believe it. I don't believe
The times that we've come together to skate has been when the music has come together. In the disco era, the music came together. There was a fusion of music which brought black and white people together. We're having a fusion of music again. That's why it's going to hit. Their children are all listening to hip-hop, black and white alike. So it's a fusion will bring them all together. It's just coming around again. We have always skated, but now they want to call it jam skating. Whatever kind of skating we call it, we're doing it.
there's a movie out called Biker Boys, and that actually was put, on the movie screen, and everybody knows about. Oh, here's these thousands of people riding the bikes. If people only knew what we do, they would be really surprised, and I wouldn't mind starring in the movie, to show how we skate, how we get down. That would be something, because, for the most part, there are people who still skate but know nothing about what we do.
It's like an underground.
Right.
Skating is like an underground world, because people think, oh, you still skating? They have no idea that we have adult skates in every city all the time, midnight till 5 a.m. They're like, you go to Alabama to skate? We will travel anywhere. It's just like the thrill of it. Yeah. And it's something that you can't get enough of it.
When I was a kid, kids roller skated. Then it went into ice skating. Then all of a sudden rollerblades came out and you never heard of roller skating anymore. Now roller skating is back.
What other partner could I have in this crime other than you? You know what I'm saying? Boy, we were meant to be. It's that simple.